Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to Quantix Fireside Chat 101, where we bring you industry leaders who are pertinently driven by action. And today we have a very exciting leader with us. His name is Mr. Ananth Subramanian, the Executive Vice President and Head of Information Technology at Kotak Mahindra Asset Management Company. Welcome, Mr. Ananth. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
My pleasure. Yeah.
Great. So, Mr. Anand, I would like to start off by asking you the first question for the afternoon. Digital transformation has been a buzzword that's going around on all the particular verticals right now. So, given the current scenario and the industry that you particularly represent, there's been an overall impact from its sales front to the marketing to the service delivery and all the way to customer experience. Where have you personally seen the strongest impact given where we stand today?
Okay. So, being from a completely different business domain that we are in, I mean, we manage the mutual fund operations of the Kotak group,
Right.
and the entire distributor or the entire business that we run through is with the help of distributors. So for us, whatever that we do is first to see how the distributors can do better, how we
Mm-hmm.
reach out to customers using the distributors platform, or enable digitization for the distributors. I mean, we'll have a lot of these smaller agents across the country
Right.
who may obviously not even having the wherewithal to be on a digital platform. So
Correct.
we have been trying to see how we digitize those operations for them, onboard these kind of distributors who will be then be able to probably reach out to more of their own clients and provide a better servicing to the clients. Things that we kind of would have been trying to do in terms of digitization is try and see how our CRM can be made more effective. Whatever complaints, whatever feedbacks that we want to
Mm-hmm.
do, how do we reach out, how do we do campaigns in a lot more what you call targeted manner rather than just doing a generalized emailing or stuff like that. So these are the areas
Correct.
where we have been able to kind of work on the digitization as far as we are concerned. Yeah.
All right, superb. So, another thing that I would, want to personally ask you during such challenging times, what IT services has proven to be a game changer for you personally?
Okay, see, what has happened is can we like today when people are working from their homes, and
Mm-hmm.
is there things that we can operate or we do without them being around? If we can automate a lot of these processes.
Right.
So we have been doing a lot of big steps in this. We have been working with solutions like Automation Anywhere, which have enabled us to automate quite a few operational activities. Honestly, the way the mutual fund industry works is like you have an RTA who does a lot of the day-to-day activities. We do more of fund accounting at our
Mm-hmm.
end, but the
Right.
outside itself, when you look at people who work with Excel sheets, so is there something that he's doing? Is he doing a routine activity of downloading a file, uploading it, turning it up, looking at some reports? So can we automate all these processes without necessarily him being, suppose he's not able to reach today, like then what? So is there any way that I can automate some of these processes, which is
Mm-hmm.
also kind of going to help me bring a lot of process of efficiency. I mean, the mistakes, the errors that may creep in. A guy may be working from home. I mean, typically from a financial standpoint, yes, these are all sensitive things that we do, and
Right.
that from home is never going to be as what do you call. The way that a guy works in office without the disturbances that are there is definitely not going to be there. So whether we
Correct.
bring in those controls also, security controls or whatever, if we are able to automate a lot of processes, which is going to bring about those efficiencies. So these are all the areas that we've been kind of looking into, and we have started taking some baby steps in those directions also.
All right, superb. So, personally, this question would be a little more casual on the front. So, as you being a tech leader on the whole, personally, what roadblocks did you face, and how did you overcome these challenges?
Okay, so to begin with, see, we are a very highly regulated organization, right?
Right.
Uh, but the work from home is it's a terminology that has kind of cropped up now thanks to the pandemic. But we had already enabled some of these processes even before the pandemic started.
Okay.
One of the reasons, yeah. So I tell you, one classic reason why we did that also was the Mumbai traffic. We're all based out of Mumbai. Each one stays at
Right.
their own different place, and we had to even to reach the workplace was a little difficult at times. So what do I do if I want to do certain authorization? You want to carry out certain operational activities, while he's doing his journey to work. So we had already enabled,
Correct.
and plus. Being a regulated industry, we needed to have a proper DR BCP in place. We are talking about investors' funds here. So we had to be very, very sure that we don't at any point of time have any kind of a scenario where we are not able to operate on any kind of platform. So we had enabled VPN a long back. Obviously, we had not given it to everybody in the organization, but all those critical task force, which kind of is necessary to ensure that I do bring out my NAVs at the end of the day. So this team was already enabled as a WFH, that you may call it today. It was already there on VPN. This challenge was how to scale it up. See, end of the day, if you look at the pandemic today, what had happened? I mean, or the organizations today in the pandemic, what has happened is that my systems weren't down. It was only that people who couldn't reach the office premise to get it up and running, right?
Correct.
Typically, if you talk about PCP scenario, it's always like, oh yeah, my server has gone down, so I have a host standby, I set up something, my network has gone down, I have another niche line in place or whatever. But here, the entire systems were up and running. It's only the matter of kind of ensuring that the guy who's sitting at home is also able to come and connect and kind of start his day-to-day activities. So the
Correct.
scale is what was the challenging part was this, how to scale it up within the given short period of time that we had, like Arabic culture lockdown. And so then how do you kind of do these things? So the challenge
Correct.
was in trying to scale it up across to whatever number of employees that we had, including sales or marketing or the digital team or the ops team or the say look at the call center. My call center was a completely on-prem solution. So how do I ensure that my all my customers or my stakeholders kind of are able to reach out to us in case they wanted to have issues resolved. So that was one large challenge that we had, and we did well actually. Yeah.
Amazing. Superb. So, taking this point ahead, talking about scalability and, getting more digital connects that are coming onto the platform, or rather having more digital presence. A very important point creeps up to me once on data security and other data privacy. So that's one thing which also would have been a concern somewhere on the back end. So how did you all manage to tackle this particular thing on the whole?
Yeah. So thanks to us being a regulated organization where so we are we are managed by SEBI, like how the banks are managed by RBI. We kind
Right.
of are accountable to SEBI. And so there's huge amount of investors funds that we have. We have customer information. We have a lot of his demographic profiles. Obviously, that needs to be put and made secure. So so these things were all kind of practices that were already there. So we had we have a DLP in place. We had like obviously not everybody gets to go around on the and browse whatever he wants to. Even if you are today kind of on your machine in my organization, and if you go
Right.
home and start working, okay, you will still not find any difference the way you either work from your home or from the office. The
Office.
same controls come into play. Okay, the same absolute same controls come into play. The same restrictions apply. You will still not be able to kind of copy data onto a USB. You will still not be able to just simply send a mail, login into a Gmail or a Hotmail. All those policies that are applied when you are working within my domain, in my premise, the same policies get applied even when you're kind of working from home. Okay, so and we don't give webmail access to everyone. Even if you go and sit into a cyber cafe and try and log in, you will not be having access to my webmail.
You will not be
So
able to.
these
Absolutely.
policies, these restrictions were already there in place. So recently, what we added was from a security perspective, we started adding in an EDR. Okay, the endpoint detection and response system. We already had, of course, other IT managed services, security managed services which are already there. Who does all my day-to-day management? We have a SIM in place and all that. So a lot of people who didn't have a laptop or a device at home to kind of get into my network, we said, okay, hey guys,
Right.
it's fine. You can use your own personal laptop. So then how do I kind of control, because it is his personal device, there will be some
Correct.
n number of applications out there. So how do I then protect my information from kind of leaking out or going out? So we added
Leaking
up
out.
additional layers of
Absolutely.
ADR and all these other controls that were there to ensure that data is not leaked out. We keep monitoring. We have the DLP policies ensure that whatever goes out is we get an automated alert in case there are certain policies which are breached. So these are all controls which are already there existing, and we only refined on some of those areas.
Superb, superb. And the last question would be a little lighter one on the note. So, since you head the information technology and you are at a leadership position, what message would you want to give out to people who would are aiming to be at your position someday, who look forward to being an IT leader? So, if there's any particular thing that they need to know, what it takes to be an IT leader on the whole, if you could just share some light on that as well.
Okay, interesting. The point here is be ready for learning. I mean, you should never stop learning. You are in a domain where what you have learned today is no longer going to be used tomorrow.
No, no,
So every
correct,
single day is a learning experience. Every new technology, and here we're not talking about only technology. I mean, even the business is so rapidly changing. The way things are. The
hmm,
regulator may keep for us, incidentally, being in a regulated industry, we always keep getting some circular or the other by the regulator the other next day, and you need to be agile. You need to
correct,
keep changing. Uh, Please don't assume that what you have learned is going to last forever. Okay, all that is legacy. What you learned today is definitely legacy in terms of the transformation that is widely happening. So be ready to learn,
correct,
whatever be your age, whatever that you want to do, and kind of what do you call your team. Just ensure that your team takes up the ownership for a lot of things. You need to keep monitoring.
correct,
You need to have those supervisory controls in place to ensure that timelines are met, deadlines are met, and yeah, that's about it. I mean, the rest is there's no excuse for not working hard. I mean, end of the day, you need to work hard. You need to uh, see that you deliver results on time, and
right,
keep exploring. I mean, you may lose, you may look at certain technologies which you feel may not be required, but nothing wrong. You can keep trying. You please ensure that you keep trying. You can tell, okay, you tried this and you failed.
correct,
Don't assume that okay, यार ये तो नहीं चलेगा हमारे इधर, or
correct.
whatever, and keep going, attending all these programs, seminars. I mean, that's a not absolutely what do you call? There's huge amount of knowledge lying out. There are n number of online courses which are
Correct.
available today, like these Udemy's of the world, which are offering great discounts. So just go ahead and do all those. Yeah, yeah.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ananth Subramanian, for joining us today and sharing us, your valuable insights and your inputs. I'm pretty sure the viewers have a lot to take home from us, and it was indeed a pleasure having you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you. All the best. Yeah.